Welcome to How Not to YouTube, where we are going to show you how to do the second version of an edit. It's important to understand that this is a follow-up to how to do version 1 of an edit, where we take break test footage, put it all together like a puzzle, and then send it over as a rough draft. Now, in the context of this video, I have put together a folder of assets that you would need to complete version 2, including narrative where I wrote a script, loose script, talked about it, added B-roll you needed of another video, and the missing file where I didn't have the graph that you needed, and you would put in as a placeholder missing graph. So notes are built in, and when I talk in my videos, sometimes I will stop being in YouTube mode and talk to the editor, and it's very clear when I do that. So it's a great way to communicate and keep the workflow smooth. And this is a longer video, but I was able to edit most of this in this hour-and-a-half edit. And what you can do is watch it either in double speed, or you can watch just a 20-minute section, and you'll see the pattern of what I'm doing. Things need to be timed with when I say things. Things need to be moving all the time. You never want to leave it the scene on the same section for too long. You got to keep it jumping around. Now, the beginning of this is probably the most important part of this video. If you only watch 20 minutes, watch the first 20. I've already edited, before I started filming the screen, the introduction, the first 30 seconds before the jingle. In this case, it was 45 seconds. And it's tight. It's real tight. If you ever watch Mr. Beast videos, they have like 30 clips in 30 seconds. And it's really keeps it fast paced. It doesn't make you want to click away, and it makes you want to really know what happened. You're hooking the audience. And I show you the thought and the process behind that. Now, I'm not an Adobe Premiere expert. You don't need Adobe Premiere to edit these videos, but I do know how to tell a story in the context of what I do, which is Mythbuster break tests for extreme sports. So take a look at what I'm doing. I would love feedback. I have a lot to learn, and I'm mostly what you're going to learn here is how to tell a story and keep an audience engaged. And at the end, we had about a 13-minute video produced, and I'll put that link in the description below on where you can find the finished product. So if you just want to watch the first 20 minutes and watch that, or the middle 20 minutes will also be a lot of help. Just watch it in double speed and you'll get the gist of my thought process on how I make decisions. Basically, it's what to cut, and how to B-roll the crap out of it. Enjoy. Okay, so I put together a folder called version 2 assets. These are all the things you need in order to finish version 1. That is part of the other episode that we did, and that includes everything here. And what I have is a separate bin called version 2. You can see here that I have the original thing, and here I have version 2. So I dropped everything in here, and this is my narrative for the video. There are 3 clips that you can see here. When you see this, you know there's some audio somewhere. So in here we have the MP3 called Stacked Beaners. Pretty easy to see where I started. So here is... Watching gear fail on the internet is terrifying. And then you can come over here. Watching gear fail in videos on the internet is terrifying. And I do have audio from the phone, so you can compare notes, but you can see that I'm screwing up, and then correct. So this is a very different clip. You can see that the carabiner was clipped above. So you can tell that's obviously not the beginning, so the beginning is this one since it wasn't that one. It's usually the last thing I say. Here is the 5th missing folder. And here are the clips of the guy falling that I reference in the video that you'll notice in the narrative. Here is an arrow. Here is the intro. And I'll show you how I put all these together. If you want thumbnails, you just go to, in this case, this video, you would Google carabiners loaded sideways, since I referenced it in the video. Sometimes I'll leave notes when I'm doing narratives for anyone editing the video. I dropped in the talking and lined it up with the audio. So those are my 3 clips. clip 2 and 3 are not the beginning. Clip 1 is before the intro. This is the intro right here. And this is what I want to share with you today, how I came up with the decision I did for the first basically 45 seconds. You got to give people a hook, give them a reason to stay, make them feel like they saw enough, but don't give away the answers. So there is nothing next to me. Then it goes and starts. So it's like, boom, your eyes see some change immediately.
Watching gear fail in videos on the internet is terrifying.
And you can see that him falling is timed with is terrifying, because that is what that image shows. Now, the way I did this is I cut off my battery and the fact I was recording, and I just showed his name there. So
this clip of Zach Ronski falls.
This is the YouTube clip that was in the assets as well, because I had my phone recorded, and then I had the Weekend Whipper version of it. This was all available in the folder.
That's terrifying. This clip of Zach Ronski falling and his first piece blew on him.
So you can see here that I punched in.
His first piece blew. Clip of Zach Ronski falling and his first piece blew on him is not comforting.
You can see that when it obviously is a more clear image, but listen to the audio while you watch this.
Is not comforting when you want to try to send something.
It gives you just enough to understand what's going on there for the premise. We are 10 seconds in, and you are hopefully hooked.
You want to try to send something.
Now, I brought myself back to here, so you understand that that's who you're listening to, the guy standing in the woods. I don't want to just B-roll 100% yet. We'll get to that point.
Is not comforting when you want to try to send something.
So I go back to this familiar clip, and I made sure I showed just a little of that, and it moved to the next part, so you can see it's all part of the same Instagram post.
You can see that the piece was right next to him, and it blew. And they showed pictures of what.
And it blew is when I go to the next one.
And it blew. And they showed pictures of what happened. You can see that the carabiner was clipped above whatever was already in that hanger. And being that it was loaded sideways, it leveraged it wrong and it broke it.
So that's the money shot, right? I could have left this the entire time. That's how I originally had it, and decided it needed more movement. So people know there's an Instagram post. We're 19 seconds in. Whoop-de-doo. You're just regurgitating stuff on the internet. But if you can show the drop tower, this is what people want to see, is this right here. And it is timed with my thoughts.
Carabiner was clipped above whatever was already in that hanger. And being that it was loaded sideways, it leveraged it wrong and it broke it.
Leveraged it wrong and broke it. At this point, you are not listening to what I'm saying. You're only watching this mysterious thing fall next to it with this suspense of it not doing anything and break it.
It broke it.
And broke it. You see something broken. That's how it needs to sound and look. The words and actions match up.
It broke it. And we did a video on sideways loaded carabiners.
I do this so people know that there is 300 other episodes to go look, and I show them how to do this. In the description is where I would put that.
And they did break a lot lower if it was pulled in a certain way.
So I downloaded that video from ClipGrab, or I got it off my hard drive that I have it all recorded on. Easy for you to ever grab if you don't have it. And it's a pop and a pop. The best two clips from that shot, from that episode.
I think that's what happened. However, we just did a bunch of...
And this is another money shot of the overall drop test. We did a drop test. This is a drop test. You have to show the drop tower. If you don't show the drop tower, you're missing the last hook you get before the intro.
We just did a bunch of drop tests, and you'll be very surprised to see the results.
And you saw there was a rope breaking. And then this, you notice the sound. I left that sound right there. So you have that 1 second of mystery. You know something's about to happen.
Stay tuned.
stay tuned. You gotta stay tuned at that point.
Results. So stay tuned.
And then you're in the video. So now we are at minute 1, and we've either explained the whole premise or they've left by now. So usually anybody that stays past the first 10 seconds is going to stay. Usually they start tapering off slowly, but 33% of those who start watching make it to the end.
Ryan Jinks, and welcome to How Not To, where I try to break ear fear. And maybe this video will create some ear fear to show you how to properly do it and why. But how to properly do it and why.
So let's see. Let's see how it sounds.
Do it and why. Now, it would be nice to just make a quick 10-second Instagram clip or TikTok about this so you know what to do and why, but it's complicated is the answer. We didn't get the results we thought we were going to get. You'll see why and how and when we actually got it to fail. So that's what you're going to see in this episode. You'll see why and how and when we actually got it to fail. So that's what you're going to see in this episode.
I am leaning towards doing 20 seconds of me talking. I've already just pummeled people here, so it's fast, slow. And if you make it more like a sine wave of the speed, then you have fast, 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 slow, 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 slow. It gives your brain a chance to catch up and get in pace with this video, because this video is going to be 5 to 10 minutes long. You don't want people to feel like they're out of breath when they're watching this. You can see I'm about to start talking. You can see a lot of talking. Usually if I screw up, I usually stop. Like here, that might be where I screwed up and stopped again. So that's where you would just literally just check this stuff based on the audio graph.
And I've been dropping hints. So that's what you're going to see in this episode. And I've been dropping hints about our drop tower that we've been building for the last 9 months. And it's basically, this is our first video. I'm pretty excited. Now, we're not done, so be kind in the comments. I still have things to do, but I just want to get some videos out. It's time. It's super strong enough for the testing a carabiner that should break lower than they were. And so, yeah, this is our first drop tower test. Really excited.
So you can see here.
So then they were. Should break lower than they were.
Now, I'm saying that it didn't do what we thought.
Strong enough for the testing a carabiner that should break lower than they were.
Now, let me show you something.
And so, yeah, this is our first drop tower test.
So, yeah, anything I say after the phrase, and yeah, is me not saying anything smart. Must cut it out. Now, I might B-roll this, so I'm going to put an M right there. Get rid of all that.
I'm super grateful for people who donated to make that drop tower possible. I'm super grateful for people who donated to make that drop tower possible. But I'm trying to be...
Yep. Anytime I ask for donations, I stutter. So you can see there, that's where I did it.
Now, I'm super grateful for those who donated to make that drop tower possible. Donations is still the lifeblood of this channel. But I'm trying to transition to extremegear.org. If you buy your climbing, caving, and canyoning gear there, then maybe I won't need donations in the future. I can support this channel through things you're going to buy anyways. We are going to have a sale, 20% off for 20 hours, and I'll tell you where that code is. We hit it, not on this video, but I'm going to tell you at the end where you can find that.
Yay.
Where you can find that.
So I plugged it. So I'm going to show a image of the website in here. What I could do is I could go to my hownoto.com and donate, and I might screenshot this. You know what? Let's just do it while we're talking about it. I usually go pretty wide on my screenshots, and that allows me, let's go to here, screenshots. I keep everything in the assets, move that there, put that in the V2 assets, and we're going to drop that right on top somewhere. So that's why I go wide, because I could do this.
Then they were. Now, I'm super grateful for those who donated.
I don't want to throw that page up right as I say donate. It looks like I'm begging for money. I don't want to directly do that.
To make that drop tower possible, donations is still the lifeblood of this channel.
Donations is still the lifeblood of this channel. That's the phrase I'm going to cover up. That would be right there.
Donations is still the lifeblood of this channel. But I'm trying to transition to...
Boom! And then transition to would be the transition to, you guessed it, extremegear.org. Now, we don't want to show Don't Fear Your Gear. The homepage isn't super pretty yet. Featured brands, whatever, buying guides. That we don't have buying guides. Homepage definitely needs work. But it will happen. So, I want to show carabiners because that is literally... I get to show this page. ExtremeGear.org stays up there, so that's visually looks good. So when you screen record this, it has Extreme Gear and Shop. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, there we go. Control-Shift-5. Record. And, yep. I'll get the mouse off the screen, and then we're just going to go right there. There we go. We're just going to scroll and scroll and scroll. We just don't know how long we're going to use this clip. I think this gets saved where screen records is. So lots of carabiners for sale. Now, I'm going to stop. That's there. Let's rinse and repeat what we did. Screenshots. Screen record. Drop it in assets. And this is how I stay fairly organized. Not as organized as I would ever like to be, but who is? Drop the screen record on there. We're going to bring up... Oh, I don't want that. I just want the clip. Okay, that's a long clip. That's good. ExtremeGear.org. Well, it's a little wide. I'm okay with cutting off whatever the background is, depending how this looks.
If you buy your climbing, caving, and canyoning gear there, then maybe I won't need donations in the future and I can support this channel through.
There we go. I start to move. So I'd probably just go to there.
ExtremeGear.org. If you buy your climbing...
Oh, what the hell?
ExtremeGear.org. If you buy your climbing, caving, and canyoning gear there, then maybe I won't need donations in the future and I can support this channel through things you're going to buy anyways.
Boom! That's a really nice stopping point. Short and sweet. Let's just go right there and get rid of just the background. I am less concerned. I'm still concerned, but I'm less concerned. I guess I can delete that. That audio clip's separate.
But I'm trying to transition to ExtremeGear.org. If you buy your climbing, caving, and canyoning gear there, then maybe I won't need donations in the future and I can support this channel through things you're going to buy anyways. We are going to have a sale, 20% off for 20 hours, and I'll tell you where that code is. We hit it, not on this video, but I'm going to tell you.
And I said it wrong, and I could always add this in when I detail. On all carabiners. So this would be the fine print. 20% off for 20 hours. On all carabiners. Now, when we do text, this is just the Premiere text, the basic stuff. I'm not trying to be too fancy with a general plug like this. But it definitely... Whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't... No. I do not want to change from what I normally use here. I'm trying to just get a background. There we go. Now, we can put that right in the center or on my chest. So we'll just do this. Let's go center. Let's do that.
We are going to have a sale, 20% off for 20 hours, and I'll tell you where that code is. We hit it, not on this video, but I'm going to tell you at the end where you can find that.
I would say, boom.
Maybe I won't need donations in the future. I can support this channel through things you're going to buy anyways. We are going to have a sale, 20% off for 20 hours, and I'll tell you where that code is. We hit it, not on this video, but I'm going to tell you at the end where you can find that.
I'm going to put asterisk because I didn't say it. But I'll do that so it looks better. Okay. So what was I going to be real here?
Carabiner that should break lower than they were. Now,
so Let's see if we can find a really interesting clip of what happened. It's usually they didn't break as low as we thought. That's the premise. I could talk about that steel carabiner. Because if you've already edited version 1, you know what's in here. And this would be like more confusing, which is kind of nice for people to be like a steel carabiner. So maybe something like right there. I don't know what I copied, so I'll just do it that way. Definitely don't need the audio in this one. Just get rid of it. And I want it near those talking points.
You'll see why and how and when we actually got it to fail. So that's what you're going to see in this episode. And I've been dropping hints about our drop tower that we've been building for the last 9 months. And it's basically this is our first video. I'm very excited. Now, we're not done, so be kind in the comments. I still have things to do, but I just want to get some videos out. It's time. It's super strong enough for the testing a carabiner that should break lower.
Testing a carabiner that should break lower. I got to show a carabiner.
Super strong enough for the testing a carabiner that should break lower than they were. Now, I'm super grateful for...
Okay. Boom, boom. That's a good pan for handheld.
The testing a carabiner that should break lower than they were.
Now that's very interesting. If you're like super confused now, why there's a steel carabiner that looks like that.
They were. Now I'm super grateful for those who donated to make that drop tower possible. Donations is still the lifeblood of this channel.
Okay, so if I'm asking for donations, I want to plug a lot of drop tower stuff in here. So I'm just gonna...
I'm pretty excited.
There. I put a bunch of markers right there. You don't have assets for the drop tower. So, of the building of it. So, you don't have to worry about that. It's too much of a catalog in my brain for you to try to replicate. But you could leave a note for me to add stuff right here. But I'm definitely okay with me talking here. And then we're going to basically drop tower B-roll, 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 and now we're in the next section.
Extremegear.org. Extremegear.org ships worldwide. So now let me show you the setup so you really do understand.
So we've B-rolled a lot of that. So now it's okay to come back to...
And where you can find that. Extremegear.org ships worldwide. So if you get gear, get it here. Get it here.
So, if you get gear, get it here. I like that slogan. And we'll just do that. And we'll get rid of all of that.
Extremegear.org ships worldwide. So if you get gear, get it here. So now let me show you the setup so you really do understand the context of what we're breaking. I'd love to say that. You must do this or you'll die.
So, this is the conclusion. This is the third part. If you listen to it at all, you will know that it's the conclusion. So I'm going to put it at the end, because there's no reason I need it before that. And...
so you really do understand the context of what we're...
So the first test, or the first video clip, well, this isn't... that's a good clip. And these are all reminders that we had that content. I would like to show us using this red rope. Like me looking at it and me figuring it out while I'm still talking over there. So let me... This has no audio that's valuable. We might be able to pack that intro a little bit better. Anything I stick way up high is something I need to deal with later, bring back down. So let's see. I would want... Because there's audio in here I jump to. It's my next clip.
So we are using a 12mm stack rope that was donated. This is probably 15, maybe 20 years old. But it should give us we're looking forward to break those carabiners.
So... I'm going to delete that. I'm going to drag... I'm going to unlink... I'm going to unlink that. And I'm going to drag this guy over just a hair. Let's see what it looks like.
You really do understand the context of what we're breaking. So we are using a 12 in the context of what we're breaking.
We don't want my lips moving. That would look stupid. Well, there we go.
What we're set up, so you really do understand the context of what we're breaking. So we are using a.
So you
Let
really
me show you the setup, so you really do understand the context of.
Really understand the context.
Context of. The context.
Context.
And the context of what we're breaking. So we are using a 12. Context.
If you say context, you got to see context. So
Understand the context of what we're breaking.
I didn't want to cut it off mid of.
So we are using a 12mm static rope that was donated. This is probably 15, maybe 20 years old, but it should give us a. We're looking for to break those carabiners. So we're going to break those carabiners.
That is a nice soundbite. I do not need to belabor that point. I don't need to punch in. There's no.
12mm static rope that was donated. This is probably 15, maybe 20 years old, but it should give us a. We're looking for to break those carabiners.
It does not need a punch in. It's a short enough clip. We've already did a bunch of stuff here. And now we are officially into the video. So we're about 2.5 minutes in, and we are giving the context of the experiment, and we don't drop the first thing for another 2 minutes. So we're going to see if we can tighten this up. But that is where we slow down again. So this was slow, this was fast, this was slow. I'm going to really pummel this with B-roll. As far as this clip goes, I'm wondering where I can use it. I'm not going to force it. So let's see here. So probably from just there.
Blue on him is
probably to there. Now we got to figure out where I want it.
Watching gear fail in videos on the internet is terrifying. This clip of Zach Ronsky falling and his first piece blue on him is not comforting when you want to try to send something. You can see that the piece was right next to him and it blew. And they showed pictures of what happened. You can see that the carabiner was clipped above whatever was already in that hanger. And being that it was loaded sideways, it leveraged it wrong and it broke it. And we did a video on sideways loaded.
That is a really good intro. I cannot fit anything in there. Dang it.
We just did a bunch of drop tests, and you'll be very surprised to see the results. So,
I don't want to interrupt that. Okay.
Thanks, and welcome to where I try to break gear fear. And maybe this video will create some gear fear to show you how to properly do it and why. Now, it would be nice to just make a quick 10-second Instagram clip or a TikTok about this so you know what to do and why, but it's complicated is the answer. We didn't get the results we thought we were going to get. You'll see why and how and when we actually got it to fail. So that's what you're going to see in this episode. And I've been dropping hints about our drop tower that we've been building for the last 9 months.
Then we're going to be jumping into that B-roll. So, okay. I guess I got to save it for later. But I'm 100% going to use it. I'll hit Control X. And I'm going to put it in here. Make sure I put it right there just so I remember to. It's definitely a thing that validates the problem that we're trying to solve. So now we're going to get into slow mode, not slow-mo. And we are going to explain things, which is never fast. And I want to show the 12... So probably to there. And I want to just get rid of the audio, and I'm going to throw this on top of my clip here.
What we're breaking. So we are using a 12mm static rope that 12mm static rope.
I say 12 millimeters, I want to see 12 millimeters.
A 12mm static rope that was donated. This is probably 15, maybe even 20 years old. Using a 12mm breaking. So we are using a.
Well, if I say it, I should see it. So let's do that.
So we are using a 12mm static rope that was donated. This is probably 15, maybe even 20 years old. But it should give us.
Now, this says 11.99. It's such a short, fast clip that you actually might have to rewatch that because you might think there's an error. And that's nice when people feel like they're falling behind.
Breaking. So we are using a 12mm static rope that was.
That's.
So we are using a.
When I say 12, it needs to show it.
What we're breaking. So we are using a 12mm static rope that was donated. This is probably 15, maybe even 20 years old. But
that was.
Static rope that was donated.
wonder if I can get it to...
Using a 12mm static rope that was donated. This is probably...
That's a way better ending. I don't want to cut it off.
That was donated. This is probably...
This is probably is a very nice transition spot.
15, maybe even 20 years old. But it should give us the... We're looking for to break those carabiner.
Okay. Wonderful.
This is a dummy, or two dummies.
There's no action there, so I need to cut it. Boom.
This is a dummy, or two dummies.
If you use L on your keyboard, double speed.
Together, these are 100 pounds each. And we have some shackle going to our line scale 3. I determined not to break these. To break these.
Okay, so that's a thought. There's a thought. Let's just put a pin in that for a minute.
And we'll see if it works. This small soft shackle will break before this fails, because the aluminum body. This, and we'll see if it works.
Don't need to say that. We're going to see if it's going to work anyways.
Not to break these. This small soft shackle will break before this fails, because the aluminum body will break above 90 kilonewtons, but the screen doesn't like it when it goes above 30. And then we have a release right here. When I pull this, it opens up. And then we got our swivels and our weight, so our rope comes back down. Otherwise, it just stays up there. So, let's see if this even works. This is my first time trying this.
I'm going to leave that because we want people to see how excited I am. But...
So, let's see if this even works. It just stays up there. So, stays up there.
I would say for faster paced, like, that's a lot of seconds.
Wait, so our rope comes back down. Otherwise, it just stays up there. Let's see if this even works. This is my first time trying this.
That's way better. It just doesn't feel draggy in that case. None of this is...
Capture time is starts at 2 kilonewtons. So, trying this.
So I would say let's try to use this part as B-roll. Why are you turning into a hand? Why did you turn into a hand? That action of me pushing the button is all I'm ever going to use of that B-roll. And because I don't have these other audio clips, I can drag that now.
Above 90 kilonewtons, but
So that's when I open it.
our line scale 3. I am determined not to.
That's actually nailed it.
2. Our line scale 3. I am determined not to break these. This small soft shackle will break.
That actually works really good, and it's all I need for B-roll. So the fact I close this might be nice. Let's see here.
Capture time is starts at 2 kilonewtons. So let's look it up.
Even like right there is enough, so you see that I actually... I don't like the fact that I'm talking, but I can at least maybe use the... Let me dump that.
Let's see if this even works. This is my first time trying this. It just stays up there. Let's see if this even works. This is my first time trying this.
Yeah, that could be a thing.
There. Let's see if this even works. This is my first time trying this. Otherwise, it just stays up there. Let's see if...
Look how long it's just on my face with, like, nothing. So it's nice to cut to a different shot.
It stays up there. Let's see if this even works. This is my first time trying this.
So you have a story, right? It's open and we close it. And now you see that we close it so we can go do the next step. So let's close this off and... let's just keep going now. Definitely got rid of that. Okay. Now you can see, when you see this, this, and this, that means I don't talk clearly. This one's longer, so let's see if we have...
If there's already stuff on the hanger, there's already something on a... If there's already something on a hanger...
So you don't have to be there to know that I sucked. You can see that I all the way through.
If there's already something on a hanger, and you go to clip and it's above what's already there, and you weight this by falling on it, what will happen?
There.
You can see that this doesn't sit proper, and that...
That's good B-roll, baby. If I didn't have this B-roll, I would probably use that magic clip that I put at the end.
Alright, let's talk over that.
I don't need to talk over that because I... So that is its own thing right there. That is the next scene, if we have any. So, like, that action. From there to there. Right there. That rocking back and forth, that's what we want. We're going to get rid of this guy so we see where we're at. I don't need the audio. We're going to drop the audio down, move it over.
On a hanger, and you go to clip and it's above what's already there.
What's already there.
And you weight this by falling on it. What will happen on it?
We can drag this over. We got flexibility.
Falling on it.
What will happen? And what's nice is
Falling on it.
Is I breathe. We need to get rid of that. We need to say what will happen.
And you weight this by falling on it. What will happen?
It flows. Oh, it's like butter. Warm butter. Okay, we don't need any of these other clips. We know what we're about to see. Is this clip worth looking at? Maybe not. I don't see myself needing the audio. So let's just get rid of it. And I'll put it up there. Right mouse click, ripple delete. Well, obviously it's in the way. Boom.
Holy shit.
We definitely don't need to drag that out.
Happen.
Boom. Now, while that's happening, we need to separate because you don't see my lips. Oops. There we go. Unlink. The audio is done. Okay.
Holy
The audio, the jiggling and stuff is fine. It doesn't have to be matched up anymore. We're going to tighten this audio up.
Holy shit.
Okay. And we're going to go, what broke? Don't need to laugh. We already know Ryan's happy.
What broke?
That's what you need to hear. You need to hear the storyline, the question. It's why you have to stay to find out what broke. As far as like looking down afterwards, we could do this if we want. But what we'd end up doing is like dragging it on top of that. That's really jerky. I almost kind of like it for like the wow factor. Pop.
Holy shit. What broke?
You know what? Maybe not. Let's do this. Let's just get rid of this. This could be a maybe. But I have more than one angle. Unless we want to show them. This is storyline's done. We've already...
What will happen? By falling on it, what will happen?
Maybe we could use this on what will happen.
What will happen?
I guess that gives context.
What will happen?
Yeah, let's use that one. Otherwise, we're going to get rid of it. Boom. So that way you know it's falling. Because you haven't seen that yet. You haven't seen the whole pile of it together yet. Okay, what broke? That's what we want us here. Now let's get some other angles of it. We got what, 2 angles? Let's go fast motion, slow motion. We want to get right to the test because that's what we're here for. And I don't want to say, oh shit, again, otherwise you feel like you're watching the same thing over and over, which, I mean, you are, but... Now, we don't have any audio, so we're going to see what this feels like. Maybe we can play this on top of audio. Now, what we do have is data. And we can put that data on top of this. I'm okay not having audio if we have something worth... There's a clip accidentally. So we don't want to come down and talk about anything until... We're not even going to show this. We're literally going to put the graph. This is our first graph. So let's see here. Boom. What I might do is there's no words right there, so I might do this. That way they can see the general graph. And of course I'd want it to go all the way to the end.
After 10 kilonewtons.
There's so much better shit going on here that we don't need. So that's exciting for people. There's a lot to look at. That's the kind of stuff people have to like rewind and they like double tap their phone in order to go back 10 seconds. But I definitely want to show an easier to see number. And I think that is going to be... I can put this number on the screen later, but I'm definitely not going to use the audio. Oh, hold on. Maybe I will.
See there that there's 99 next to the battery. That means 1 log has happened, and we were at 1280 hertz.
Ooh, it's not super relevant for the test, but that might actually give us some good audio. Now, we haven't come down yet. So, like, I haven't come down. There's no storyline in order for that yet, but... Yeah, I don't necessarily like that, so...
You can see there that there's 99 next to the battery.
So... If I can cut my hand out of this... What I could do is crop it, or I could drop it on this side and show a number. If I can put it anywhere relatively close to that.
You can see there that there's 99 next to the battery. That means 1 log has happened, and we were at 1280 hertz. So after 10...
Oof, that is sexy. So what I might do so people can enjoy the slow-mo is wait to show the drop tower number.
You can see there that there's 99 next to the battery. That means 1 log has happened, and we were at 1280 hertz. So after 10 kilonewtons...
I definitely want to... and what I can do is put a circle.
We were at 1280 hertz.
What I'll do is use the crappy arrow. Definitely need a better arrow. And I can put it there the whole time on top of
So after
Let's see here. Put it right there. So
you can see there that
yeah, I want that arrow a little bit better.
there's 99 next to the battery.
Let's do, since it's all over the place, and then I can put the number.
That means 1 log has happened, and we were at 1280 hertz.
So that's okay. We're gonna put the number 10.02 because it's so hard to see. Like it's not, I didn't do the text right. There we go. 10.02 kilonewtons, and I could put that underneath. Easy to understand, easy to read. There's a lot going on in this clip. Boom. You see, wow, a slow-mo.
99 next to the battery. That means 1 log has happened, and we were at 1280 hertz.
So now, in all of that quick stuff, you can know that this load cell is reading fast enough to properly catch that information if you are an engineer and know those kinds of details. And you can see that the graph is kind of boring in the fact that it's just goes straight up. But
so after 10 kilonewtons, the carabiner looks like this. The other side looks like this. So far, not too bad, other than that notch. The figure 8 looks like this.
That's real draggy. That needs some work.
Like this.
So I finish it not on the audio, but on that action.
So far, not too bad.
And then
figure 8 look. The figure 8 looks like this.
so that's kind of funny to go fast-paced, and then kind of, because you can see that I guess you can cut off some of it. Like I really do need to plug these guys.
That was a perfect descent. So.
I might even leave the laughing, you know.
So.
Well, maybe there, because it doesn't end that well otherwise. I might throw, if you go to the website, you can go perfect descent, auto belay, images, and it's direct drive, speed drive. What I might do, I wonder, is that a PNG? I would love a PNG, baby. Give me a PNG. Save image as. I don't know. Let's go to projects in progress. Oh my gosh, where's the damn stack of beaners? There we go. Version 2, assets. Okay. So, version 2. Oh, that's a PNG. Oh, please make my life easy. Oh, it's a direct drive. That's not what I have. Why do I have a speed drive? Anyways. Whatever, it's a perfect descent. Oh, that looks terrible. Why is it cloudy? I guess maybe... Oh, that sucks. Well, you get the gist. It's a placeholder. That was a perfect descent.
That was a perfect descent.
Man, that actually almost works. Let's see here.
That
Well, I'm for now I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna go to the end right before I laugh.
That was a perfect scent. So, drop towers. Scary. I love testing things because it's never ever what I expect. So, drop towers.
We don't want it too draggy, but I can talk for a little bit.
Drop towers. Scary. I love testing things because it's never ever what I expect. I thought that fuse was going to be strong enough for what we're doing. The fuse is something that will break before the line scale. We're going to find out right now if the line scale survive. The box seems okay. The line scale is touching the edge of the box. And clearly I don't know how Pelican came okay before the line scale. We're going to find out right now if the line scale survive.
So I'm looking at it, but we don't need to like, at least right there, like we don't need to watch the whole process.
How Pelican cases work. Line scale's like safe. Oh. Pelican cases work. Line scale's like safe. Oh, you have to push both these to turn it on. I didn't have peak force on, so we on. Line scale's like safe. Oh, you have to push both these to turn it on.
That's terrible.
I didn't have peak force
on,
so we'd have to look at the log. You can see.
We already covered this, right? It's like, oh, is it safe? And it's like, yeah, it is, but that's terrible. Bad storyline. We already covered the force. We don't need to talk about it. So that needs to be put when I talk about the fuse breaking. So maybe we can cover up this garbage with something.
I thought that fuse. Expect.
I thought that
fuse was going to be strong enough for what we were doing. The fuse is something that will.
That actually works really well. So then I explain the fuse. So I want to kind of get rid of all of that. We're not really worried about the line scale at this point.
Strong enough for what we're doing. The fuse is something that will break before the line scale. We're going to find out right now if the line scale survive. Oh, like in cases work.
Man, we got to cut this thing down. Maybe I can. Let's see here.
Line scale's like safe.
Okay. Oh, yep. It's not profound. I don't need to give a lesson on how to use a line scale. Let's just get rid of it. Because it goes into the fuse. To have a little like jerky section for 5 seconds, 4 minutes into a video is not the end of the world.
Line scale's like safe. Fun fact, we did the Dano Leaning Tower rope swing on these soft shackles. This one particularly I did because I didn't finish burying the tails.
Seems a little quiet because I'm further away.
Inside, which is
so I want it to be in this range.
Just wasn't expecting it to be around tip. Fun fact, we did the Dano Leaning Tower rope swing on these soft shackles. This one particularly I did.
I definitely need to say fun fact.
Fun fact, we did the Dano Leaning Tower rope swing on these soft shackles. This one particularly I did because I didn't finish burying the tails.
So right here, I can
we did the Dano Leaning Tower rope swing on these soft shackles.
So that's going to signify to put Dano footage, a slow-mo of the Dan Osmond rope swing.
Swing on these soft shackles.
And so I'm going to cut that. So that needs B-roll above it of just one big rope swing maybe. So to like terrify people, it broke so low.
Particularly I didn't because I didn't finish burying the tails inside, which is I wanted it weaker. This wasn't expecting to be around 10 kilonewtons. So let me show you what happened. I've never had a soft shackle break like this. Soft shackle break like this. So let me show you what happened. I've never had a soft shackle break like this.
You don't need to see him coming over my shoulder. You can just tell that that's what's going to happen. And because he's closer to me, the audio is going to be louder.
So this was the noose that went over. So this was the noose that went over the button head, and it broke here. Now it slid a little bit before the other one broke, but it broke here which you can see the color because this has been sitting outside. Also, this has been sitting outside in a pile of water with a bunch of rusty tools. So this
I do not have any B-roll of the pile of rusty tools.
worst case scenario. But it broke here. I've never had it do that. Usually it breaks right here because it's the sharpest bend on the smallest point. For both of these to break, what happened was one broken than the other, which is why it's off center. It's off center.
I don't need to B-roll much more than that. It's fine. It kind of gives the audience a little bit of a break. They can skip past it if they don't like it. Let's see what I see.
Besides the fact this is completely used in a horrible sample, I'm super curious now if soft shackles, when they're shock loaded.
This might lead to a future video,
Besides the fact this is
so I need to bring that up.
completely used in a horrible sample, I'm super curious now if soft shackles, when they're shock loaded, because the heat generated from the knot going is possibly a regular. That's going to be a super interesting test. We're also going to test finding rope. We're also going to test knots and carabiners. That's going to be a super interesting test. We're also going to test finding rope.
You can see right here that it's consistent. You just know. I haven't even listened to this. You just
We're
know.
also going to test knots and carabiners to find out shock loading with those different results in a slow pull machine. A lot of things to explore with the drop down. I'm pretty excited. That's not what we came out here to do. Let's do our next test. Let's do our next test.
Okay, let's get rid of that breathing thing. Second test. People know it's our second test. We definitely storylined it at this point. The question is there a story of what I'm doing?
I really wanted something dramatic.
So it's not breaking. Boom, boom, the number, the thing. And the conclusion. I don't talk about... We literally repeated the test, so there's nothing to really go over. So we're just going to maybe put text over it.
Broke. The rope broke.
Okay, so there we have it. We have to... So as soon as those things stop jiggling around, I can unlink these. And when I'm not, you can't see my lips, you can really bring this in to there.
The rope broke.
The rope broke. So then we can even use that audio over the slow-mo if we so wanted to. So let's just pull in the far away shot. Boom! Just, it's so intense. But I don't say anything. And then I guess this is where I would put the numbers. Who doesn't like slow-mo? And I could put an arrow right there if I want. And let's put the graph on there. We already know that's the graph. And people are going to tell me that they can't read it and they're going to complain, but that's okay. That way I get comments. It's a straight line, people. It's fine. Okay. And then I want to put that line scale number, which we already have. I don't use this audio. It's too much audio. I didn't say anything profound. We learned that in version 1. I definitely want this for the whole thing. And we'll turn it so people can read it. And having my hand in the way, let's... It says 17.63, so I don't have to do any... Boom! Nice. So, alright, so let's put the ugly arrow. We're relevant. Oh my gosh, that is an ugly arrow. And we are going to point to where it broke. Boom. So it breaks there. Kind of want to point people's attention to it. Maybe even a hair before. But you don't want it on there the whole time because, like we said, it's an ugly arrow. So let's see what the overall vibe is. Boom. So you know what's happening. You're looking at the numbers.
All right, that's getting pretty groovy now. But that still held. That's so disappointing. I really wanted something dramatic. When I do want to create gear fear, I can't. Something dramatic.
Because I move it so quickly, let's tighten that up. But I'm going to go there. We're going to go there. We're going to go there. We'll just bring all that back together.
All right, that's getting pretty groovy now. But that still held. That's so disappointing. I really wanted something dramatic. When I do want to create gear fear, I can't.
I like the fact that Bobby's there, but I start laughing, so let's see here.
Here I can't.
That's fine if a little bit of laughing kind of sets the tone. I'm not upset about it. I think it's funny. And then let's see it.
I'm trying to create.
So right there, I want it to be like boom, you know, tight. I don't want it to
Trying to create gear fear.
drag.
So you don't clip meters above other stuff, and it's orientated proper, but it's not working. So the rope broke. 17-inch kilonewtons. Like my safety glasses, makes me feel safer up there. Let's go put 3 things in the same hanger and see if we can do this again.
Safety glasses is a little too much.
Orientated proper, but it's not working. So the rope broke. 7 not working.
They already know the rope broke. What can I eliminate?
Let's go put 3. Let's go put 3 things in the same hanger and see if we can do this again.
Okay.
Here's above other stuff. It's orientated proper, but it's not working. Let's go put 3 things in the same hanger and see if we can do this again. Do this again.
It has a nice tempo. I'm okay with it. Whatever. Third test. We know it's a third test now. Nobody needs numbers on the screen for this. If we do breaks back to back to back, we need to help guide people on what they're looking at, but we don't here. A lot of talking, but definitely want people to understand what they're looking at.
Gotta make sure my carabiner is locked.
Nah, it's too much talking.
This is a big carabiner, and then this is what was down here. And that just doesn't sit well. And I think that's what happens when it actually breaks. So if it sits well at all, I can actually show you. Even this is actually sitting kind of okay. It's putting a lot more pressure on the one side. Actually breaks. So if it sits well at all, then it actually breaks.
Let's see if I can cut that.
Even if it actually
So you need a story online why there's already, like, all of a sudden this thing's out of it. So maybe me unclipping.
Even this is actually sitting kind of okay. It's putting a lot more pressure on the one side. But if you try to get another carabiner in there, because you can get it to fit, then it just is bad. It's all bad. So let's find out how many carabiners I'll lose during this test. It's all bad.
I like that audio. Let's see what I can do with it. Let's see if I can overlay some of this.
It's all bad. So let's find out how many carabiners I'll lose during this test.
So now we enter in the slow-mo of...
It's all bad. So let's find out how many carabiners I'll lose during this test.
And... boom! That is the dramatic shot. Now, we don't need much more than that. A hard... oh, multitasking here. I guess that is... so we want slow, fast, slow. And that's what we're going to do with these. That drags too much. That 1 second really kills the vibe of fast-paced. It's a vibe. Boom. I definitely like this thing bouncing and showing that it stops. And this was an interesting test. So let's start it where it drops. That is where we always want to do that. And let's grab the chart. And I assume that's the line scale. Getting better at this. We need to get rid of the audio. Let's check if I say anything profound.
Third drop test we did.
That was a nice reference, but we don't need that in the actual video. Oh, come on. Oh, interesting. Oh, that's not a very long clip. Maybe I'll just not have it up the whole time and people can watch the first half of the drop test with nothing. Okay. So let's go. I'll just match this up with that one. So shrink that up a bit. Okay. So what I'm going to show is what actually happened, which is interesting. So it's going to go boom. And now we're going to play that over and over again. So I'm going to cut it off here in just this clip. I don't even know why there's no audio on it. Boom. And we're going to put it in reverse immediately. Speed and duration. Reverse speed. So I don't mind a little bit. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I guess I could just do that. There we go. That is how you can cut that. Screw counting. Boom. And now that it's up there, what we can do is cut this, copy this guy, and reverse him. And we're going to point and show people this really fascinating thing where it breaks on both sides. But we need to unreverse it, reverse it. Boom. It breaks in 2 places. So we got to start it with that. Boom. And then we'll, like, now that we got their attention, we're going to put ugly arrows. Let's make sure that's not going to cover something else. We're going to copy that. And then we're going to do 2 arrows. Okay. This is where it gets real exciting. Boom. Boom. Let's see where it breaks. Don't need these arrows real big. They're red. Breaks in 2 pieces. Boom. And if people want to, what I could do is if I find a good audio clip, I can replay this section without the arrows. And without this. And I could grab this clip and B-roll it later. We'll see if that's a tool we want to pull out of the closet.
Dang. That thing got trashed. And this carabiner seems trashed.
Okay, so I don't want to talk too long about this. You can see it's a long clip.
And this carabiner seems, that seems okay. This is the one I was actually excited about break. Seems to be okay. Hey, the gate's still closed. That seems okay. This is the one I was actually curious about. That would break. Seems to be okay.
Yeah, get rid of the ums. I like this little sound clip because this is pretty funny.
Hey, the gate's still closed.
That's a complete thought. I put it back on. Short laugh, no annoying laugh. Boom.
Dang, that thing got trashed. This is the one I was actually excited about, afraid. Seems to be okay. Hey, the gate's still closed. Man, I wish there was an easy way to go up and down this thing. If only I had a perfect descent. Shameless plugs. This thing makes it so much fun. These guys loaned me a perfect descent so I could be able to go up and down this safely, because I didn't think using an ascender and a greenery was going to be sustainable. So link to buy perfect descent down below. If you are going to set up any sort of a gym or top rope self belay setup, this thing's awesome.
Let's see here. I do definitely want that in here. Okay, so that's his Bobby shot. I don't want, like, it looks horrible, but for this part, all right.
Man, I wish there was an easy way to go up and down this thing. If only I had a perfect set.
So I stopped saying something right there, right? So I'd want to show myself from a different angle.
Perfect descent. Ship.
So I can cut off the S, and I can even actually, if I want to get probably more realistic on the time.
Perfect descent. Perfect descent.
That's when I finish the word.
Ship.
I have to start. You have to see my face when I say shh.
Shameless plugs. This thing makes it so much fun.
Okay, shameless plug. That's a really good spot for a commercial. I'm quite impressed.
Mystery has been solved. This steel beater was fine. It's the steel beater that held this and this together. I think it hit the dummy, broke it, and then flew and landed over there.
So there is no mystery. There is no clip that talks about a mystery. We walked around for a while and figured out where things went. We already looked at the orange carabiner. We need to move on. What was the second thing?
This steel beater was fine. It's the steel beater that held this and this together.
So I could put just text, real simple. That failed. Let's just try that.
It's the steel beater that held this and this together. I think it hit the dummy, broke it, and then flew and landed over there. Let's get you a helmet.
I was undercover. I was in the building.
Okay.
I was in the building.
That was a nice way to tie that in and move on. We don't want to stay on this point forever.
You know what makes this fun? Nothing happens the way I think it's going to. This is trash. The pin that holds the gate. What pin is? We'll never find out. Going to. This is trash. You know what makes this fun? Nothing happens the way I think it's going to.
So there's the sound bite. So then you take this, and you take these. So you got two. You have a far away, and then you got the close up. So
are you in 2x?
Clearly, that's not meant to be talked. Clearly, it's meant to be B-rolled. So
I think it's going to.
So we have this piece, and then we have. Let's see here.
We can repair it, man.
It's.
Get some electric tape.
Nah, it doesn't work with the storyline. We're not trying to repair it. There's no reason to repair it. We're not worried about. Like we are, but.
This is trashed.
So this is trash. It's the far away shot. So we want it to fit in this little bubble. Let's see if it.
This is trashed.
Yeah, I like this side of it.
This is trash.
Okay, it's trashed. We got it. Okay, so something in this section here.
Trashed. The pin that holds the gate. Well, the pin is. We'll never find that.
Okay. Yeah, I think we need to tighten that, but it definitely is funny.
We'll never find that.
I maintain eye contact, and his laugh is consistent. It's a good clip. Let's bring in the next. So this would be our fourth
We're gonna try
test.
this one more time, but we're actually gonna try to break the carabiner. So
I don't need to say fourth test. I just said we're going to try this one more time.
we're gonna try this one more time, but we're actually gonna try to break the carabiner. So we are going to use a span set, and hopefully this is static enough to shock load the crap out of this. This is how you don't want it. If you are going to do this, you want to lift that up and put that as the main.
Clearly I'm struggling. You can see struggle spots in here.
I want to make.
I do like saying this is the next test.
Use a span set, and hopefully this is static enough to shock load the crap out of this. This is how you don't want it. If shock load the crap out of this.
Let's see if...
To make sure we cover how to do this proper.
Yep. We show how to do it, so that's the point.
I want to make sure we cover how to do this proper. This is wrong. If you are going to come up with something and this is going to be loaded, you want to put your carabiner behind everything, whether this is a carabiner, chain, quick link, whatever. So when it's loaded, it is going to sit like this. But since this is how not to, let's do that. Now I had to change this hanger. This is a fun. Let's do that.
We don't really care about the hanger. The story's not about
Now
the
I had to change
hanger.
This is a fun fact. I had to change this to the new hanger because we did an 18 kilonewton break on our rope, and now this hanger looks like this. Because we did the new hanger, because we did an 18 kilonewton break on our rope, and now this hanger looks like this. So it's so opened up, we wouldn't get the same results. So now let's break it.
That's actually quite interesting.
Change this hanger. This is a fun. This is a fun fact. This is the fun fact. I had to change this to the new hanger because we did an 18 kilonewton break on our rope, and now this hanger looks like this. So it's so opened up, we wouldn't get the same results. So now let's break it. Oof, that sounds terrible for my stuff. Oh, the dog bone broke. Oof, that sounds terrible for my stuff. Oh, the dog bone broke. Nothing's as dangerous as I want it to be. Oh, the dog bone broke.
I'll leave that audio. When you get to the end of the video, people are going to watch. If they got to 9 minutes, they'll make it to 11. Now the question is, can I put this? Can I put that on top of the other test? We will find out.
Oof, that sounds terrible for my stuff. Oof.
So that's an audio. This is a spot. That is a spot we can use. So
Oof, that sounds terrible for my stuff.
let's see here. A little bit longer on both ends so it fits that audio clip.
Oof, that sounds terrible for my stuff. Oh, the dog bone broke.
And we come back to it. I like that. And then we come back to our famous clips. This is going to be a look. People are going to get used to it. And boom, and we'll throw that there. And we're getting pretty used to this at this point. We'll just cut it to that. Because I have the length, I'm going to use the whole thing. I'm going to cover myself up. The less people see me up there, the better probably. So that's a very short test. It's a very short result. Let's drop that down. Okay. Boom. right, so people saw the number. That looks good. Still, it's fast-paced. Okay, being funny.
This descent is perfect. All right, I'll stop with that. This seems to be an okay shape except for the massive groove in it, and the dog bone broke. I was really hoping I could just impress everybody with like a 4 to 6 kilonewton carabiner break. The end? What's the conclusion? It's fine? It's not fine. Don't do that. It's not right.
All right, obviously this is the B-roll for that clip. So let's get rid of the audio. Easy peasy. And
Dog bone be in okay shape except for the
the what? If I say it, show it.
massive groove in it, and the dog bone broke.
The dog bone broke. That's fine. We already.
Seems to be in
Let's
okay
see.
shape except for the massive groove in it, and the dog bone broke.
So I look at it for like 2 seconds. So that actually works.
I was really hoping I could just impress everybody with like a 4 to 6 kilonewton carabiner break.
Okay, so then this is fifth test.
Bobby wants to go to lunch, but I want to break this carabiner. So
That's a good storyline. So we're going to keep that audio clip in there. But you don't see my lips. We can actually move that audio where we want.
I want to break this carabiner. So we're doing soft shackle dispense set to this guy. Bobby wants to go to lunch, but I'm determined to break this carabiner. Since I can't do it in a real life scenario.
All right.
Bobby wants to go to lunch, but I'm determined to break this carabiner. Since I can't do it in a real life scenario, we're just using all the standard gear you would use during a lead climb. All right, let's turn them on. All right, let's turn them on. Climb.
All right. Let's turn them on. We don't need to have, you know, the logistics of that. You definitely want that action of those things falling, and the noise sounds like Jurassic Park. So we're going to keep all of that in there. Boom. Lots of things moving, things flying. People are going to tell me I'm going to die doing this. Then you do that. Do we have another clip? That's where we want that clip. I definitely don't need this guy. This offers nothing. Move that there. So just a hair back. So, boom. Boom. Do I say anything? I do say something. Boom. You can't see my lips. So, go to the... Oh, I want the video to be the same. Let's bring that in. Turn it up. So you're like, no way. Okay, what is he talking about? What is he talking about? So let's do that. Let's bring in, nope. The next clip would be our famous clip. So we have right there. And this is where we're going to bring in that asset brought in earlier. And that guy. So we're doing good with this. Let's see.
Fourth, I think.
No, I'm definitely wrong on that. It's the thing, if you want to check, it's right there, 1708. It's a little tiny to read, but you can fix that. And I can actually show more of the drop tower doing it this way. And I can naturally crop it. Boom. I definitely like this. This is a good look.
Okay, this is not... Okay, this is not the same shape it was. I can't even get this thing open. It's permanently deformed. And a more oval shape, but it did not break.
But did not break.
Not break.
I'm okay at 10 minutes having one in there. One is not going to kill me.
This thing is rated for 24. What do we get, Bobby? This thing...
Okay.
Thing is is rated for 24. What do we get, Bobby?
Okay.
17. How are we breaking steel beaners at 17? 17.
The audience has already seen that, but they can be in that discovery space with me. I don't want that camera spinning. That would make everyone sick.
How are we breaking steel beaners at 17?
So I come down and we explore that now. And we can plug the perfect descent one more time.
I think it was cross-loaded.
Okay, that's a good thought. It'd be nice if he was louder.
I think it was cross-loaded.
Oh, that very likely could have happened.
Yeah, because what it did is it broke the pin here, and then it pulled out the back, so that like this won't go. So it must have been like cross-loaded.
It was so the
Cross-loaded.
So him and I are different volumes.
very likely could have happened.
Yeah, I could.
So either way, whatever we do with this clip, that's the...
Oh, that very likely could have happened.
Yeah, because what it did is it broke the pin here. It broke the.
So,
Did is it?
see that? When I... Any chance you can get rid of that change in shot?
Could have happened.
Yeah, it broke the pin here.
Likely could have happened.
And obviously you have to get rid of this part. But that looks so much better having...
I think it was cross-loaded.
Oh, that very likely could have happened.
It broke the pin here,
See, it doesn't have that jerky pullback vibe.
and then it pulled out the back, so that like this won't go. So it must have been like cross-loaded.
It was so the span set was on the side, and it tried to probably come across, and it probably got stuck there and just loaded.
So there's.
Span set was on the side.
So I got to get rid of all that.
Span set was on the side, and it tried to probably come across, and it probably got stuck there and just loaded.
So there's little bits of plastic of the
Oh, yep.
green span set there.
How bad do you want to go to lunch?
Really bad.
All right. So I would say there's enough storyline. Can I leave this?
Green span set there. Span set there.
My question signifies I don't need to exhale. You can tell by my question.
Oh, yep.
Green span set there.
How bad do you want to go to lunch?
Really bad.
They don't have a cross-loaded rating on here. Well, now we know it's 17.
That's an interesting clip.
They don't have a cross-loaded rating on here. Well, now we know it's 17. Cross-loaded rating on here. Cross-loaded
So here, I like what I said.
cross-loaded
Cross-loaded. Okay. So what we do, instead of making this jerky, we're going to trim up this audio smoothly.
rating on here.
Well, that's a little too tight.
Cross-loaded rating on here.
And then we'll take it over to here. Whoa, don't change the volume, Ryan. There we go.
Well, now we know it's 17.
So you can tell I'm making a joke. You don't need to see more clips. And I don't need to 10 minutes in B-roll what he's showing.
Say that. You must do this. I'd love to say that. You must do this or you'll die. I'm actually, I hate to say this,
This is an okay transition. Back to the walk, back to the original part of the video where I started it with.
I'm not convinced that's why that carabiner broke. Unless that was positioned in a way that I could recreate on a drop tower. I have used carabiners in the past where the fixed ring was pre-installed. I have used the drop tower.
Now, that is where we can use this clip. This clip I've been waiting to use.
I have used carabiners in the past where the fixed ring was pre-installed on the hanger, and that does create a lever that I don't really want on my carabiner.
Now that's a really long clip. Let's see how much
value this thing has surrounding it.
Drop power. I have used carabiners in the past where the fix ring was pre-installed on the hanger, and that
Pre-installed on the hanger.
installed on the hanger.
That's a good enough stopping point. You can see context there.
I have used carabiners in the past where the fix ring was pre-installed on the hanger, and that does create a lever that I don't really want on my carabiner. But
Okay, so boom.
a lever that I don't really want on my carabiner. You really should put the carabiner underneath as the bottom piece if you're going to load that carabiner. Now, if you're a big old anchor and you're flipping a bunch of stuff to it, it can suck. Just make sure you don't clip the quick draw that you have between the blader and the leader as they go up in what we sometimes call the Jesus piece. Now, if you're at a,
Now, you can see here, I end up just gap. I just struggle. So,
now, regardless of the results we got, I think it's super important to put the quick draw underneath everything else on my carabiner. You really should clip the carabiner underneath.
yeah. So, all that.
Regardless of the results we got, I think it's super important to put the quick draw underneath everything else that you would use between the blader and the leader as they go up, let's say a multi-pitch wrap, for example, on a big wall. If the first piece they put in blows or they slip off and they are going to load, instead of you, the anchor, so that carabiner and quick draws forward, then you really want to make sure that's going to not be flexing poorly. You want it to be underneath all the other crap. It could be your big wall carabiner, it could be the chains that are on there, it could be whatever. And if you can't do that, it's probably best to clip that carabiner to another carabiner. So just make sure you don't put it on an HMS carabiner. We are going to teach that carabiner to another carabiner.
Now, people still don't have the code, so they're stuck watching it.
Just make sure you don't clip that quick draw to the
And now I'm pumping the next episodes that are coming out.
If you can't do that, it's probably best to clip that carabiner to another carabiner. Just make sure you don't clip that quick draw to the gate side of an HMS carabiner. We are also brake testing HMS carabiners to show you that you load the gate side, they don't break at 20 kilonewtons.
You don't break it.
Kilonewtons.
So, this, when I watch it for final review, I know that I have
Clip that quick draw to the
Um,
gate side of an HMS carabiner.
a
We are
clip
also
of that.
Testing HMS carabiners.
That's not out yet. So, that's something you would never be able to add in here.
The discount code for the 20% off carabiners.
It's also not that important because, like, you could. This episode's great without that B-roll. I just have it. So,
The discount code at extremegear.com for the 20% off for 20 hours for any carabiner you want, as many as you want, is going to be found in the TAM section in the description, the specs.
oof. You can see obviously I screwed up there. So, I hate plugging stuff. I get super nervous.
So the discount code for extremegear.org for any carabiners as many as you want, 20% off for 20 hours, is going to be somewhere in the product description or the specs of one of the cams. And that way you go through the site a little bit, you spend some time on there, which is what we want you to do. In exchange, we're giving away all of our profits on that gear for the day. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification since we're going to be doing this more often. This way you're seeing videos right away and not depending on the algorithm to tell you when these videos come out. We're going to be dropping a really cool shirt possibly on Monday, so make sure you see the video that's going to come out soon. Thanks for watching. Cheers.
And then it ends right as it's 100% black, not before and not after. Now, as far as full engagement, I'm just going to end the video there. There's no interesting clips later of like us finding stuff. Version 1 didn't provide us with any like after jingle thoughts.
For extremegear.org for any carabiners as many as you want, 20% off.
So what I might do is put carabiner clips or... Oh, this is where I'm going to add the subscribe because that is what the call to action is.
A little bit, you spend some time on there, which is what we want you to do. In exchange, we're giving away all of our profits on that gear for the day. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification
Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification.
for the day.
So somewhere in the... Let's see if the animation...
So
I don't mind it somewhat big since I'm talking about it.
make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification.
Perfect timing on bell notification.
We're going to be doing
And then...
this more often. This way you're seeing my videos right away and not depending on the algorithm to tell you when these videos come out.
That actually faded out perfect timing.
We are going to be dropping a really cool shirt.
Now, in version 2, I have in the assets here. I'm going to just, like, tease.
We are going to be dropping a really cool shirt possibly on Monday. So make sure on Monday.
Boom.
A cool shirt possibly on Monday. So make sure you see the video that's going to come out soon. Thanks for watching. Cheers.
So now there's just like just a tease. So now I have, when I back this off, 1, 2, 3. I actually don't think this one is legitimate anymore since I already clear. There we go. So this one is
Been building for the last 9 months.
drop tower stuff.
We did the
Dano stuff. And
clip that quick draw to the gate side of an HMS.
the HMS Carabiner. Now, one last thing, if I talk about the website,
As they go up, let's say in the product description or the specs of one of the cams.
okay, so we want to reinforce that. If I talk about it, you gotta see it. So let's go to, oh, that's Photoshop. I gotta like maybe find a new Perfect Descent. So I'm gonna do a different one of these. What did Extreme Gear? What's harder than editing? Filming yourself while editing. Hardware. Cams. Protection. I guess this is all we've got. Camelot Z for Alien. Oh. Interesting. That's okay. Man, I want to get a little smaller. There we go. I'll probably do that and hide my mouse in here. So, I guess I can't hide my mouse if I'm screenshotting. I'm just going to screenshot. And I don't want that. There we go. I want the whole website. So there we go. Okay. I'm going to go here. Screenshots. Grab. There we go. Keep it in V2 assets. V2 assets. It's the end of the video. Anybody who's watching this far in can deal with a less perfect promo.
For 20 hours is gonna
be. And this is where I guess that's the best I'm gonna get. I'm gonna have to get rid of the Extreme Gear part. And then we want to reinforce this, right? So code discount code is hidden in cam in a cam description. Hidden in a cam product description or specs. So let's see how that looks. Definitely need to center that. Discount code is hidden in a cam product description or its specs. Let's see here. Yeah. Discount code is hidden in a cam. There's no spell check on this, so I have to make sure I did it right.
Somewhere in the product description or the specs of one of the cams.
Now. Boom.
Gonna be somewhere in the product description or the specs of one of the cams. And that way you go to the side a little bit, you spend some time on there, which is what we want you to do. In exchange, we're giving away all of our profits on that.
But this picture brings you back to the subject of extremegear.org.
So the discount code for extremegear.org for any carabiners, as many as you want, 20% off for 20 hours.
And you know what? Because we're doing that, I kind of want to copy that and remind people what they're watching, which would be right before that. And when you paste, it's nice to lock. Whoa, it's a long one. It's nice to lock that. Do that and unlock that.
Carabiners, as many as you want, extremegear.org for any carabiners, as many as you want, 20% off for 20 hours. For extremegear.org for any carabiners, as many as you want, 20% off for 20 hours is going to be
so it's nice. It's like me, no text, text, no text. It's like there's stuff going on at all times, even though it's just me talking. The only thing I could do now is punch in, but because I'm walking and talking and vlogging like a selfie mode, I don't see a value in doing that. You're also at the end of the video. Nobody makes it that far without, you know, being willing to stay the whole time. Once you get somebody past 5 minutes, they're usually down for the ride. Okay, I would just review this a whole bunch. I'm going to add these 3 things, and this video is ready to render and to send me for a final check. And that's how you do version 2 of my edits.